Have you ever wondered why some people can push themselves to do incredible things while others struggle to get out of bed? This question, my friends, is all about motivation. It's that magical force that propels us forward, pushing us to scale mountains, literal and figurative, that we once thought insurmountable. Consider the story of a successful athlete who had to overcome adversity. Picture a young man, barely out of his teens, who suffered a devastating injury. Doctors said he would never play again, but he refused to accept this fate. Instead, he harnessed his motivation, pushing through pain and doubt, to not only return to the field but to become one of the best in his sport. His story isn't just about physical strength or talent, but the power of motivation. Motivation, it turns out, is the key that unlocks our potential. With it, we can achieve things that seem impossible and overcome obstacles that seem insurmountable. But what exactly is motivation and how does it work? Motivation at its core is the force that drives us towards achieving our goals. It's like the fuel for our personal engines, pushing us to move forward, to overcome obstacles, and to reach that finish line. Now let's delve into the psychological aspect of motivation. Psychologists often describe motivation as a process that initiates, guides, and maintains goal-oriented behaviors. It's what causes us to act, whether it's getting a glass of water to reduce thirst or reading a book to gain knowledge. There are different types of motivation too. Intrinsic motivation comes from within us, like when we do something because we find it rewarding. On the other hand, extrinsic motivation comes from external factors, like rewards or fear of punishment. Let's take a look at how motivation impacts our decision-making process. A study conducted at the University of Zurich found that the prospect of a reward stimulates the brain's reward system and influences our decisions. When we anticipate a reward, our brain releases dopamine, a neurotransmitter associated with pleasure and reward. This dopamine rush can guide our decisions, making us more likely to choose actions that lead to the reward. Next, let's talk about the neurological aspect of motivation. Neuroscience has shown that motivation is linked to the brain's reward system. When we achieve a goal, our brain releases dopamine, creating a sense of pleasure and satisfaction. This positive feedback loop encourages us to repeat the behavior that led to the reward, reinforcing the link between action and reward. But motivation is not just about rewards. It's also about overcoming challenges and setbacks. Research from the University of Pennsylvania shows that our brain's prefrontal cortex, the area responsible for decision-making and problem-solving, becomes more active when we face obstacles. This suggests that our brains are wired to rise to the challenge and find solutions, which is a key aspect of motivation. To sum it up, motivation is a complex interplay of psychological and neurological processes. It's what drives our behavior, guides our decision-making, and shapes our life journey. So, motivation is not just a buzzword, it's a powerful force that shapes our lives. Now that we understand what motivation is, how can we harness its power? Let's dive into the art of self-motivation. It's a fascinating and crucial concept, one that plays a pivotal role in achieving personal and professional goals. Self-motivation is the force that keeps us moving forward. It's the internal drive to develop, improve, achieve, and keep pushing even when things are tough. Let's weave in a personal story here for better understanding. Imagine a young man named Tom. Tom was working in a job that didn't excite him, surrounded by people who didn't inspire him. He felt stuck, caught in a cycle of dissatisfaction and disappointment. But Tom had a dream. He imagined a different life, one where he pursued his passion for writing and shared his thoughts with the world. Knowing that no one else could make this dream a reality for him, Tom began to cultivate his self-motivation. He started waking up an hour earlier each day to write before work. He researched, learned, and refined his craft during lunch breaks and late into the night. There were days of self-doubt, days when the words wouldn't come, days when he wondered if it was all worth it. But he kept going, driven by his love for writing and his vision for a different future. And guess what? Over time, Tom's perseverance paid off. His blog gained traction, and he started getting recognition for his work. Eventually, he was able to leave his uninspiring job and become a full-time writer, living the life he had always imagined for himself. The essence of this story is that self-motivation propelled Tom to change his life. It was the fuel for his engine, the wind beneath his wings. He had a dream, and through self-motivation, he was able to transform that dream into a reality. This is the power of self-motivation. It's not about waiting for others to inspire or push us. It's about finding that force within ourselves, that inner spark that drives us to keep going, to strive for more, to turn dreams into realities. In the end, the ability to motivate ourselves is one of the most important skills we can develop. But what about our environment? How does it affect our motivation? You might be wondering. Well, let's dive right in. Our surroundings, both physical and social, have a profound impact on our motivation. Think about it. A cluttered room versus an organized workspace. A chaotic home environment versus a serene retreat. Each setting elicits a different emotional response, and these responses, in turn, influence our motivation. Consider an artist. Let's call him Alex. Alex had been struggling with a creative block. His usual setting was no longer inspiring him. In a desperate attempt to reignite his creativity, he decided to take a trip to the countryside. Surrounded by nature, away from the hustle and bustle of city life, Alex found a new perspective. The open fields, the clear blue skies, the tranquility, all these elements created an environment that sparked his imagination and motivated him to create again. Social relationships also play a significant role. The people you surround yourself with can either elevate your motivation or pull it down. If you're surrounded by individuals who are driven and focused, it's likely that their energy will rub off on you, pushing you to strive harder. On the other hand, if you're constantly around negativity, it can drain your motivation, making it difficult for you to work towards your goals. And let's not forget cultural norms. The societal standards and expectations that we grow up with can greatly influence our motivation. Some cultures may encourage ambition and perseverance, while others might value contentment and simplicity. These cultural norms can either propel us forward or hold us back, depending on how we perceive them. Our environment, in all its forms, has the power to shape our motivation. It can be our greatest ally or our biggest obstacle. So, it's essential to be mindful of our surroundings and make conscious efforts to create an environment that fosters motivation. And remember, just like Alex, sometimes all it takes is a change of scenery to reignite that spark within you. Our environment, it seems, plays a crucial role in our quest for motivation. So how can we increase our motivation? Let's start with the basics, setting clear and achievable goals. Goals are like the North Star, guiding us through the darkest nights toward our desired destination. For instance, instead of saying, "I want to be healthier," try, "I will walk 30 minutes every day after dinner." This goal is specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound, making it easier for you to track your progress and stay motivated. Next, maintaining a positive attitude is crucial. Our mindset is like a lens through which we view the world. If the lens is cloudy, the world appears dim, but if it's clear, everything shines brightly. Remember, it's okay to face obstacles and have bad days. What's essential is to keep the positivity flowing. Imagine a writer who faces writer's block. Instead of wallowing in frustration, they choose to see this as an opportunity to explore new writing styles or topics. A positive attitude can turn challenges into opportunities for growth. Another practical tip is to seek support from others. We're social creatures, after all. Having a support network can significantly boost our motivation. Think about a time when you were working out alone versus with a friend. There's a good chance that you pushed yourself harder and enjoyed the workout more with your friend by your side. Whether it's a mentor, a friend, or a support group, don't hesitate to reach out to others for encouragement and motivation. Lastly, remember to celebrate your small wins. Every step you take towards your goal, no matter how small, is a victory. Celebrating these small victories can create positive momentum and keep you motivated. Imagine you're learning a new language. Each new word or phrase you learn is a win worth celebrating. These celebrations reinforce your motivation and push you to keep going. With the right strategies, we can all boost our motivation and achieve our dreams. So, what have we learned about motivation? We've delved into the power of a question and how it can spark that initial desire to achieve. We've explored the fascinating science of motivation, unraveling how our brains and bodies respond to different stimuli, igniting that drive within us. We've discussed the art of self-motivation, recognizing the importance of taking responsibility for our own progress. We've also considered the role of environment, acknowledging how our surroundings can either stifle or stimulate our motivation. We've shared practical tips for boosting motivation, from setting clear goals to celebrating our victories, no matter how small. Motivation isn't just about getting things done. It's about pushing boundaries, challenging norms, and pursuing passions. It's about believing in ourselves and our abilities to make a difference. Remember, motivation is the key to unlocking our potential and achieving our dreams, so go out there and find what motivates you.